The parents prepared a lavish dinner for their child, but the adopted child could only sit by and eat nothing. David, ignoring the warnings from his teddy bear, snatched his brother's food and stuffed it into his mouth. The adoptive parents immediately ordered him to stop, but it was too late. They opened David's abdomen and pulled out a chip covered in food. It turned out he was just a robot. The repairman warned that robots shouldn't consume food. David didn't care about his health, only concerned that his mother said he was fine. He didn't know that he was merely a substitute. The couple's biological child, Martin, was terminally ill. Unable to bear his wife's sorrow, the husband brought David home. The wife was initially resistant. Feeling that a cold machine could never replace her child, she found David's movements frightening. As time passed, the wife began to waver. One day, while eating, David saw some noodles by his mother's mouth and suddenly laughed out loud. The mother couldn't help but laugh too. It had been a long time since their home had been so joyful. At night, the mother personally tucked David in, telling him a fairy tale to help him sleep. Looking at the obedient boy, the mother seemed to see her biological child again. She too became happy and began to rediscover herself. But David's heart was still like that of a baby. His emotional system had not fully developed, and he often felt lonely and fearful. Sometimes, he would ask his mother. He is afraid of losing his mother. The mother sensed David's attachment. She gave him her son's teddy bear. David and Teddy became best friends. Then, the news came that changed everything. Her son, Martin, suddenly recovered. Looking at the weak boy in the wheelchair, David felt a mix of emotions. He knew his mother was no longer just his. David didn't feel hostility toward Martin, but tried to adapt to the new family dynamics, treating Martin with kindness. Martin, however, rejected him completely. He realized that David, unlike a toy, was even more perfect than him. His heart was filled with hostility. As time went on, Martin's provocations became worse. He began torturing David's friend, Teddy. He even flaunted food in front of David, taunting him for not being able to eat. This time, David was enraged. By the time his mother noticed, it was too late. David felt joy when he was repaired, because his mother held his hand. But after the repair, Martin's malice grew. He made David cut off his mother's hair, saying it would make her love him more. David believed him. That night, the mother and father were horrified. The next day, the mother decided to take David and Teddy out into the wild, so that he could never return home. David cried in fear, constantly apologizing to his mother. The mother pushed David down and drove away. At that moment, David felt hopeless. No one realized that this abandonment would mark the beginning of David's 2,000-year journey to find his mother.